How's everybody going? Today, I want to say Happy Mental Health Awareness Month. I know I have quite a few followers from different places around the world, but here in U.S. we celebrate a month of just mental health awareness because we realize over time that there's been so many stigmas when it comes to mental health disorders, and as a result, um, people have died as well as homelessness has increased. And so, um, having this month, you know, for mental health is important because it brings awareness to actual diseases, mental health diseases that does exist. Mental health is an actual disease that can be treated like most different types of disorders. I am a psychiatrist. First, I want to say thank you for following me. Outside of jumping, I'm a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner where I work with people who is suffering with depression, bipolar anxiety, agoraphobia, things like that. And I take this month very serious because, you can save a life through awareness, and I think that even in like America, we still, it's a daily battle working on making sure people are aware of certain different elements that, that exist. Like, I was just talking to one of my doctor friends, and we were just talking about how we should have tools in like places where lower income or people who may not have the accessibility, because sometimes there's a stigma when it comes to like getting help being very expensive. And the tools that we use to be able to diagnose patients, we should make those tools readily available in places that a regular consumer may come, may they can use it. Like, we shouldn't have to charge somebody $200 to $300 just to come and to take this proven scale that shows depression. Like, I think that cost is a big factor in the reason why people don't like to go get help, because they're like, I don't want to spend my whole paycheck for somebody to listen to my problems. And now I'm not only stressed out financially, but now I'm stressed out because I feel like somebody's trying to use me. And no, like, as a healthcare professional, I'm a mental health advocate, and it's not for the money for me. I really love helping people. Like, if you're going through something in life, like, first of all, to be human is to go through depression and also happiness. Like, everybody have happiness, everybody have sadness. So right there, it's like some people just don't know how to adapt to it or have peace within themselves while they're going through it. And sometimes you may need a little extra help medically wise, or sometimes it could be diet. Like, when I have my patients and they come in, I always center on diet. I'm like, well, how's your diet? Because if you eat shitty, you're going to feel shitty. Like, you're going to feel depressed if you're not eating correctly. So on my patients, I start on fish oil as well as vitamin C, because those are good mood stabilizers. So if they come in and they're feeling very depressed, they feel like their sadness is overwhelming, is interfering in their sleep, in their appetite, is interfering in them doing things that they normally like to do, they've lost interest, then I normally put them on omega-3 or vitamin C, because sometimes you may not get enough of that in your diet. So diet is sometimes the root cause of a lot of like depressive anxiety symptoms that you may develop over time if you're not consuming correctly. So little things like that can mean a world of difference for somebody. If you're not able to manage the depression and the anxiety that you're going through, then think about your diet. That's one. After you think about your diet, also think about where you at mentally, as far as what can you do without having to seek out meds, because most people think, oh, well, if I'm going to go to this therapist, they're going to put me on pills. No, I don't want to put you on pills, really. I really want to help you. I really want to help you figure out what can you do to make yourself feel better. And that's what mental health is about. It's not about making money off of people. It's not about, I'm sitting here, I'm going to tell you what your problem is. No, I'm helping you help you. Sometimes, it's hard. You're not in this by yourself. Don't think that when you're in your depressive mode where the world don't understand where you're coming from, your whole life is fucked up. Guess what? There's many more people that's going through the same exact thing that you're going through. But it feels good to think that you're the only one going through it, though. Honestly, it does. Because when you're feeling really pity for yourself and you're feeling really bad and you're like, you know what, life is, it's pretty messed up. Sometimes it feels good, like low key, but then at the same time, it puts you in a space that you don't need to be in. And sometimes you can't get out of it. you know, and at that point we can't get out of it. That's where the coping strategy and the coping skills come into part. We're learning how to cope with life challenges, and sometimes we lose in touch with how to cope with it, and then that's where you need mental health to come in back. Because, you know, I do this because I could save somebody from committing suicide. You know, I've had patients that come in and they were just one step from beginning to plan out, you know, their life as far as where it's going to end at. And that's very, 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 it's very emotional for me, because it's like, wow, you know, I'm right between a rock and a hard place. Like, if I don't say the right thing or ask the right question, then I may not get what I need to be able to give to them to what they need. So my interviewing skills has to always be as perfect as I can make them, because I don't know what's going on in this person's head. The only thing I could do is ask questions. And sometimes when you're going through what you're going through, you may not even know you're feeling the way you're feeling. You may not even know you're depressed. You know, I've had a lot of diagnoses where I've diagnosed people with major depressive disorder, and they didn't even know they were depressed. You know, they didn't know the definition of depression, which is what that's one of the things I want to do, is put out information about what is depression, what does it look like. Some people would play around with the word. They'd be like, oh yeah, you know, something bad happened to me, I'm depressed. But no, what is the true definition of depression? And because depression, that's where everything starts, you know, in most cases. With a lot of different diseases, depression is, you know, is a frequent thing where that's where it starts. And then it goes into anxiety. And then from anxiety, that's when you hit those other different elements when it comes to mental health. But I believe that a lot of people, mental challenges start at depression, and they live in it for so long, and they compensate the best way they can, whether healthy or not very healthy way of compensating for it, to the point where they can't compensate no more. One of the reasons why I became a mental advocate, addiction runs really heavy in my family, as well as depression. And a lot of my family members, they suffer with depression. But because there's such a stigma in my family to go seek out help, and because there's so many negative annotations when it comes to mental health, you know, they laugh at it and be like, I ain't trying to do that shit. Seriously, that's what they do. And as a result, when life challenges happen, and a lot of them has become a victim of using drugs, you know, crack, cocaine, anything to numb the pain, they become victims of that, because it's like, I'd rather go and numb my pain than to go and talk to somebody, or to go and get the healthy help that I really need. You know, I had one patient who came in, and he has underlying ADHD. He's been having it since he was a kid. Didn't have a good supportive system growing up, and as a result, you know, he ended up using meth, because, you know, he's having auditory hallucinations, so he's schizophrenic as well. Well, he has schizophrenic features, but, you know, because of the audio hallucinations as he's hearing. But really, his mind races, and he does meth as a way to slow down his mind so he can read, so he can, you know, operate. And when he was telling me, and I'm like, okay, so, because I'm trying to find the difference of being addicted to a substance opposed to using it because this is the only way I could think clear. Because the medication we had him on, you know, was supposed to help with that, but it wasn't helping. So little things like that, if we could have got him at the beginning of his journey when it comes to mental health, ADHD, and that's why with kids too, it's like, if you feel like your kid, something's not particular, I know as parents, we want our babies to, you know, nothing wrong with our children. But sometimes, you know, you have to look past your own ego and just be like, you know what, something's not right. And that's when you need to bring your kid, you know. So, but anyways, you know, dealing with that gentleman where it was like his addiction, it wasn't even really addiction. It was more or less like he was using it as a way to be able to function. You know, having ADHD, he was in meth to be able to read a book. And, you know, that's not a good coping strategy. However, that's something that's available on the streets. And so what happens, you go and use that, opposed to, let's try you on something, or not let's try on something, let's start with coping strategies. And then if we can't find good coping strategies, then we can go and try something that may or may not, you know, that you need stimulant wise to be able to function with your ADHD. So just things like that, that could be addressed early on, or even before even get to medication, that can help. Like, so that's why with mental health, I'm so passionate about it. I love helping people. And it took me a long time to really realize how much in depth I am with mental health. I started off as a registered nurse, working on the telemetry unit. And then after that, after about 14 years of doing that, I realized my passion for helping people mentally. And so that's part of, also another part of the reason why I love rebounding. Um, Rebounding is a way for me to get in touch with my inner childhood. Like, I love rebounding. It's like, it's kind of hard to be upset and bounce. I tell everybody that. I'm like, it's hard to be unhappy and bounce. And that's why I do it, because on my most stressful days where I'm feeling, because, like I said, I always say to be human is to experience sadness and happiness. And moments when I get off of work, it's not, I feel a little sadness sometimes because I can't help everybody. I only can do what I can do. And I have to jump. Sometimes I get off of work and I have to go get in my boots, and it's not so much of a workout for me. It's more of a mental health release for me. Like when I'm literally jumping off the stress. I'm taking whatever that was brung onto me, I'm jumping it off. So that's why I tell so many people, you know, jumping is not just about losing weight. It's really about clearing your mind. Sometimes something as simple as just jumping for 5 minutes could change your whole day and how you approach it. And that's where I want people to understand and realize as I connect this to like mental health. And I think there's more people that wants a way out of depression than there are people who wants to work out. Do you guys agree with that? I was telling the owner of the company who I work for Fit Boots. I said, girl, I think there's way more depressed people than people who want to work out. Because a lot of people just don't want to work out. But if you give them a solution, a more holistic solution, like, you know what, let me jump just because I'm feeling hella depressed, I'm feeling hella down. And just that 5 or 10 minutes of jumping, you'll feel much better. And that's sometimes people want to feel better. And not necessarily, jumping is exercising, but jumping is therapeutic. Do you realize that NASA, the people that goes up to the moon, before they even go to the moon, they jump, they rebound. And this is chi. They call it in Chinese language chi, which is euphoria, in the sense that gives them peace before they even go into the moon. It gets their body and the lymphatic system moving up and down before they even prepare themselves to go. So jumping is such a it's such a great way of helping with depression, anxiety, or with those arenas. And so that's my mission in life as a psychiatric nurse, health nurse practitioner. I really want to promote this product as being something that you can use for depression, that you can use for anxiety. It may not fix it, it may not cure it, but it's something that that can help with whatever you're going through in life. So please do, for those who are following me, please let me know if you have any questions. Like I said, my page is mainly about rebounding, but also mental health as well, because that's the most important. You got to have a healthy mind to be able to operate in life, because without a healthy mind, you end up doing things or have yourself in situations that you may not be particularly want to be in. But when your mind is not healthy, it affects everything else, your physical health, your spiritual health. You become very disconnected from yourself. But yeah, thanks guys for listening, for those who tuned in. So as I go forward, just let me know if you guys have. I'm going to be posting some more videos, some more jumping videos. But if you guys want some more information about I'm going to do that anyways, because this is Mental Health Awareness Month. So I'm going to be posting more information about mental health, diagnosis, things that you may or may not be aware of. People really don't be knowing that when they're in depression. So I'm definitely going to be posting more information about what is major depressive disorder, what it looks like, and what you may be experiencing may be what it is, but you don't know. Anyways, like I always like to end my conversations, if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you gonna love anybody else? Can I get an amen? Thank you guys for watching, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Bye.